Up tracks on the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
We're up and running. It is your Sunday morning with your Pratt Pack. Two teenagers were shot several times each on Saturday in Rankin, but survived the attack, according to Allegheny County Police. County 911 received a call at 1:49 p.m. about a shooting in the 300th block of 4th Avenue in the borough. First responders found the two gentlemen and reported they had been shot multiple times. They were taken to a hospital where their conditions were listed as stable. Investigators say they were looking for four men who had been wearing masks when the shootings occurred. Police said the four approached the victims and began shooting before running towards 3rd Avenue. So can we at least maybe get through a day without more gun violence in and around the city of Pittsburgh? You know, these are great communities, and Rankin is one of them, where people are just trying every day to make it work, to get up and go to work and take care of their families. We only have so much police protection to go around, and aren't we lucky that we have that other brand that is the Allegheny County Police? But the firepower on the streets is absolutely mind-boggling. And here's the question, and you may say you're naive, but am I? How is it that so many young people are getting their hands on guns? Listen, what were we talking about just yesterday? Parental guidance, and not just about social media and what the content that they are putting between their ears is all about, but what they are putting in their hands to commit these violent acts. And what is the thought process of young people today that it has gotten so bad and so desperate that they are willing to basically go out and shoot someone, knowing all well that it could end only two ways? They get arrested, that person survives, or they eventually get arrested and that person dies. And then that third option, they end up being on the other side of a bullet. So no matter how you look at it, it's not good. But what I'm concerned about, what is absolutely atrocious, is the thought process of young people who wake up every day where the world should be everything to them, an opportunity to grasp it all, to embrace it all, and make every opportunity count. But no, that's not the case. The case is, if this is my last day, I'm going to go out in a blaze of glory. Because I think many of these young people are living a video game, thinking that you don't die, but you just go to a better place, because they have created this thought process in their mind. And more importantly, what is the most evil and just absolutely horrendous aspect of all of this? They have no respect for human life. And more importantly, not even their own. So sad, so hopeless, so young. What do we do to stop the madness and the youth and this gun violence in and around our region? Yeah, that's the big question. What do we do? I just cannot believe that I cannot get through a 24-hour period without some sort of gun violence. So I was doing all of this work last night from the home studio that went well into late hours after 11 o'clock because of the World Cup. And, of course, getting ready for the sportscast today and getting ready for the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. And going back and forth to the Post-Gazette and the Trib and KDKA-Radio.com. And I see this story and I'm thinking, now, didn't I just report on a shooting involving young people? And then I saw the community of Rankin. I have a lot of respect for that part of Pittsburgh. Absolutely love it. Some of the golden parts, Swissville, Rankin, Braddock. I mean, the hardcore, the blue-collar worker that came to Pittsburgh or was born in Pittsburgh that forged us into the Steel City, right? Rough and tough people who worked hard, relaxed, enjoyed spending time with their family, created some of the best public schools and libraries and main streets. And now we're just killing each other. And the blood is pouring into the streets at a just record pace. And when you think that a lot of this violence is being committed by young people, what does that tell you? Where is the future of this region when you have the young that are supposed to be forging the future for the next generation, but in reality, all they are doing is killing one another? It's just so sad, so very, very sad. And just when you think that that violence is not going to be a part of any place other than this city of Pittsburgh, you find out that there's been gun violence in a surrounding county, a surrounding state. And we live in a world today where gun violence seems to be the only way anybody thinks that they can settle anything. And when you have this many guns on the street that young people, some 4 in this case, can get their hands on a weapon, obviously weapons with no serial number, to where they are ghost guns, and they can go commit something like this. And if you notice the time of day, it was right in the middle of the day. What chance does anybody have? And in a day and age in which we're trying to really be the biggest cheerleader for this region and keep young people in this region, whether they were born here or came here for college or whatever the case, or come here because of a job opportunity, if you were a young person and you grew up in and around this violence, or you had an opportunity to get a great job, to settle in, get a home, raise a family, and as you come to this city to interview for a job, you pick up the paper and you see these type of headlines, and then you start looking and you see another and another and another. Then you realize you've gone back just over a week's time and there's been 4 or 5 shootings. And if you're not from here, you're like alarmed and you're thinking, what is going on? But if you are from here, you are basically feeling the same way I am. It's Groundhog Day. Eat, sleep, and repeat. It's the same thing every day. And please, don't blame it on anybody other than the people that are committing these crimes. Because what we have done, we have taken away opportunity after opportunity by not returning to a healthy working class, middle class, not just in Pittsburgh or not just in the tri-state, but in our country. So you will continue to have young people who are not carving out that American dream, but they're carving out any way they can to get their hands on money. It's that simple. So how do you stop the violence? A little bit more crime and punishment, more rank and file, more respect for the police, communicating with the police, talking to the police, intervening when you can stop the possibility of what just happened in Rankin. So these individuals survived, and they will live to enjoy another day. But what will that life consist of once they are healed up? Will they find another way? Will this scare them straight? Or will they go straight back to what got them in that place in the very first time? That's right. The very first time that they faced a bullet, were able to stare down the barrel of a gun, live to talk about it. But what will they learn from it? Where will they go? Will they turn the page? Are they the innocent victims? What caused this from happening? But I do know this, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you add things up, it comes down to one thing. You had 4 individuals with masks, probably as young, if not younger, in the middle of the day, decided to take matters into their own hands and walked up to these 2 individuals and just began shooting. That's right, just began open fire right now in the middle of a community in broad daylight, not to even think of what can happen to the innocent bystander. To me, this is a frightening epidemic, and whether me talking about it actually is going to make a difference, I'm not so sure, but I know one thing: people in positions to make a difference, including parents, better get on the ball. All right, as always, you can listen to us at 100.1 FM, AM 1020 KDK, or on that Odyssey app, AUDACY, but you can also watch us online with the KDK video stream presented by Metropolitan Window Company. Just go to KDKRadio.com and click on Watch KDK Radio Livestream, or now you can just go to our KDK Radio YouTube page and watch everything that we are doing in the studio. Hey, if you know someone who's done something extraordinary in the past year, nominate them now at KDKRadio.com to be honored at this year's Larry's Hometown Heroes. Now, 866-391-1020. Time to get into our open talk. 866-391-1020. And also, NASCO Roofing, instant access to our shows. A click away. Email us at instantaccess, KDKRadio.com. And if you're calling in today, say welcome to Ryan Tile. He is in for Alonzo. This is Ryan's first Sunday morning with your Pratt Pack. So take it easy on him, folks. But we'd love to hear from you right now. And welcome Ryan to the weekend family as Alonzo's enjoying a couple of hours of extra sleep. 866-391-1020. Let's go. Good morning.
News Radio, KDKA,
win over Panama
Sports.
via goals from Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane, while Croatia Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve your Pittsburgh tradition. Pirates lost to the Reds yesterday, 9-7. 2 teams again today. PNC Park, 135. Hear it on 93.7 The Fan. The Pen selected Marcus Ruck with the 39th overall pick in the second round yesterday, pairing the prolific scoring forward with his twin brother Liam. The Penguins drafted Liam, a right winger, with their first-round pick at number 22 on Friday. Marcus is listed at 6 feet, 164 pounds. He has played primarily center and dished out 87 assists from Medicine Hat in 25-26. Final group stage spots were cemented at the World Cup yesterday. England captured Group L with a 2-0 win over Panama via goals from Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane, while Croatia locked in second place, beating Ghana 2-1. Thrilling late-night action headlined by Argentina over Jordan 3-1, and Austria and Algiers battled to a 3-3 draw, and Colombia and Portugal battled to a 0-0 draw. Victor Hovland, 20 under, a one-shot lead at the Travelers Championship, heading into today's final round over world number 1 Scotty Scheffler. More sports, 93.7thefan.com.
The July store-wide clearance. For your game room, patio, and backyard, we've got everything you need to enjoy time with family and friends. All up to 60% off. Dive into summer with Pittsburgh's largest selection and savings on all of our products. Plus, enjoy 0% financing for up to 60 months on select items. Hurry! These unbeatable deals end July 7th or while supplies last. Don't miss out. Visit Pool City today.
Your source for the AccuWeather forecast. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Are your property taxes too high? You have from July 1st until September 1st, 2026 to file an appeal of the Allegheny County Property Tax Assessment. Contact Richard Ernsberger at the law firm Barrenden Ernsberger. Call 412-391-2515 for the help you need.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Vacation costs add up fast. The rental, the gas, the groceries. What about the stuff you actually want to spend money on? So before you book through a third-party site, visit SWAC Vacations directly. When you book direct, you skip the platform fees and keep more money in your vacation budget. Explore family-friendly vacation rentals at beaches, lakes, and mountains you love. Visit swacvacations.com, SWACK Vacations. Less wasted on fees, more saved for memories.
Tickets for Kids will host a Dress Big Happy Hour on Wednesday, July 22nd from 4 to 7 p.m. in the Casamigos Club at PPG Paints Arena. Join sports celebrities and TFK's friends from the ticketing, nonprofit, corporate, and foundation communities for a silent auction, hors d'oeuvres, a cash bar, and the chance to play carnival games on the arena floor. For tickets, go to the events link at ticketsforkids.org.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, back at it. It's your Pratt Pack. We're here till 1 o'clock today. Meantime, I want to remind you that coming up next hour, it will be none other than Father Tom Burke at 6:30, Catholic Education Plus. John Asausi, along with Christine Smith, are going to be joining him to be talking about an event that's happening. It's called Fest PGH in September at FNB Stadium. A gathering of music, worship, and family fun. Sounds like a good time. Father will plug you in on all that coming up in just about an hour and 10 minutes. But in the meantime, let's say hi to Joanne, who's calling today from Point Breeze. Hey, Joanne, good morning.
Good morning. There's two.
Joanne, you got to turn that radio down.
There's 3 issues here. First of all, where are these young men getting these guns? Second of all, as long Schumann Center was never, it doesn't seem like they're looking for it to open anything. And I know if they send the kids somewhere else, the city has to pay. Somebody has to pay for their upkeep. And third of all, as long as they keep shooting each other, nothing else will be done. And this is what's happening, and it's sad. And I don't care who says otherwise, as long as they're shooting each other that look like themselves, nothing will be done. So you can call it what you want in any way you want. Somebody is not doing their job and allowing these teens to continue to get guns without any kind of
Well, here's the
accountability.
thing,
And it's
Joanne.
sad.
Here's the thing that upsets me. First off, I don't care if it's a single-parent household. I don't care what it is. I don't care if they're being raised by their grandparents. Somebody needs to put the fear of God in these people. But here's the thing. They don't even know how to use these guns. It's the Wild West. They don't even know how to hit what they're supposed to be shooting at. Obviously, two gentlemen are both alive, and thank God. But what happens, they just start firing at will, and then you have innocent people who get caught up in these gun battles. I mean, they don't even know how to use guns. They don't even know, what the safety aspect of a gun is, how to prevent from shooting yourself. I mean, these are a bunch of Bush League amateurs. That's what worries me, innocent people getting hurt.
Well, what worries me is nothing is being done. At least we can't see, and this continues to go on, and it'll continue to go on as long as they don't put their finger on what's happening, and as long as these young people keep killing each other, people that look like them, nothing will be done. So it's a sad state, and you can blame it on the parents. Once these kids get a certain age, there's not a lot that you can, if you can do with them. You hope you can talk to them. Talking doesn't seem to be anything. There's a plan here, and I've watched it. As long as these kids keep killing each other, nothing will be done. So I don't. You call it what you want. It's more than just.
Well, but Joanne, here's the thing. You even if they end up going and doing hard time in a state penitentiary, they're only going to be worse when they come out. They're just going to be victims of society once again, tossed aside. Look, I know times are tough. I know there are people struggling, and I know sometimes we all live in this fantasy world that, big money, big cars, big homes. But you know what? Sometimes smaller is better. We need to be teaching our children that if you can just find a place to put your head at night and a roof over your head and some food in the refrigerator, you've lived a good life. I think that we let our children get caught up in these fantasy worlds that just don't exist.
Well, I think it's a sad state, and once they did not put a place. I mean, people have to be accountable, and they're not allowing these children to be accountable. And there are two young men and they say they should be in juvenile court. That lawyer, he ought to be ashamed of himself. They are doing adult crimes, and they know better. They know what happens when you use a gun. And it's sad. It's sad. And the only thing I can do is say a prayer for them and hope that things will change. Thanks, Rob.
All right, Joanne, thanks. Anybody else wants to jump in on this? 866-391-1020. The thing that really honks me off is the fact that there is no fear. There is no fear about, A, killing someone or dying themselves, and there's no repercussion. They're not afraid of the police. If they were, they wouldn't be walking in downtown Rankin in broad daylight shooting people. They wouldn't be doing it. And look, this is something that's happening across the country. It's not just in Rankin. It's not just in Pittsburgh. It's not a race issue. It's just a violent issue. This is happening every single place in our country. Look, we had an event in our community last night, and I could not park by my house, okay? I had to park away from my house because I wanted to give people a chance that wanted to enjoy this night, not have, especially with little kids, they didn't have to park far from where this event was taking place. So I basically left the front part of my house open so somebody could enjoy it. So I got up this morning, I got my workout in, I wanted to get here a little bit early. Ryan was coming in to do his first day on the job, so I wanted to be here a little bit early. So I left my house around, about 3 o'clock. So I'm walking outside my house, and it's a great community, and I love where I live, but this is my second stint living in this community. I lived there in the early 90s, and then I left for a while, and I just came back. Well, it's been a long time now, but I've been back for over 10 years. But I got to tell you, how many summer mornings, I mean, you figure I've been doing the weekends since the mid-'80s, and I've been here every weekend. I mean, every 4th of July, so I've never not been here early in the morning, okay? But I must tell you, this was the first time that I walked off my front porch and I went around the block to my house as opposed to kind of cutting through yards or going through my own yard where it's a little dark. But as I was walking to go to my car, I thought to myself, this is the very first time in my life that I was a little concerned and apprehensive. Never have I ever been. So then you start thinking, well, do I go out and buy a weapon, get a concealed permit? Okay. Is it time to start doing that? Because I am getting a little bit older. I have a great security system in my household. You can't sneeze, okay? So I have all of that. And I'm just the average Joe like the rest of you, and I live in a really nice community where there is very little violence. We have a great police force. But if this is my thought process, now back in the day when I actually had a life, I would be walking at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning from one of the local watering holes where I would walk up, have a couple of beers, watch a Pirate game, and walk home. I wouldn't do it today. Wouldn't. Besides, the town closes early since the pandemic. But what I'm getting at is we're talking a few years removed from basically wanting to be out walking on a hot summer night under a full moon, just celebrating summer. I don't think I will ever celebrate summer the way I did. And when you hear of stories like what happened in Rankin, it's just sad. Somebody's got to put the hammer down to stop this madness. It's not going to happen in my generation, but for younger people who want to come to places like Beaver County or to Pittsburgh or to communities like the ones that we talk about all the time, this has got to stop. And somebody has got to step up and say, we got to end it right now. And there's got to be repercussions for it. 866-391-1020. ABC News Radio is coming up next. It's your Pratt Pack.
When you get a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, things get real.
And nobody understands that better than the Parkinson's Foundation. All across the country, we provide resources and support in the fight against Parkinson's, a neurological disease that affects movement.
The Parkinson's Foundation is dedicated to improving care and advancing research towards a cure.
And when you call our helpline, you'll speak to a real person who can help you find the right information. Because while living with Parkinson's can be challenging, there are things you can do to improve your quality of life. So, whether you're newly diagnosed, have been living with Parkinson's for years, or caring for a loved one,
when Parkinson's gets real, find real answers at the Parkinson's Foundation.
Go to parkinson.org or call our helpline at 1-800-4PD-INFO, 1-800-473-4636. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
At Habitat for Humanity, we believe home is where you find peace, stability, and safety. But 1 in 3 people on Earth woke up today without a good home. Let's open the door to opportunity. Visit Habitat.org to learn more. That's Habitat.org.
Hearing the news every day is one thing. Hearing it hit home is something altogether different. That's the difference you hear every day on KDKA Radio. We go beyond the benign headlines and bring the news to life, your life. So stay here and hear the news and what a difference it makes. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
The Colorectal Cancer Alliance wants you to know a lot of things in life are preventable. Ooh, gas station sushi. That's preventable. And even colon cancer can be preventable if you get screened. If you're 45 or older, talk to your doctor. Go to colorectalcancer.org to learn more.
Being diagnosed with leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, or one of over 100 other types of blood cancer makes people want more time to do the things they love. We are Blood Cancer United. We do the most for more people with blood cancer. Join us at bloodcancerunited.org.
14 years in prison for killing a young woman. A 15-year sentence for a crash that caused 3 deaths. 12 and a half years for killing a child and critically injuring her mother. All true stories, all caused by marijuana-impaired drivers. No matter what you tell yourself, if you feel different, you drive different. So, if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. The one-week-old agreement between the U.S. and Iran is in jeopardy. The U.S. military fired strikes into Iran again Saturday after a drone attack on a cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz. At least 4 deaths have been confirmed in those Kentucky floods. ABC's Andrew Dimber tells us that the governor there has declared a state of emergency and is pleading with people to avoid driving.
Across central and eastern Kentucky, roads remain washed out, trees are down. Governor Andy Beshear is urging people to stay off the roads, off these flooded roads, reminding Kentuckians that driving in these conditions could be life-threatening.
And there's a state of emergency in Utah. At least a dozen new fires erupting in the state in recent days, forcing evacuations for several new counties. The death toll now surpassing 1,400 in Venezuela, after a pair of powerful earthquakes just seconds apart Wednesday tumbled buildings to the ground, trapping people inside. The U.S. has dispatched search and rescue teams. This is ABC News.
In 1945, my grandparents made sausage using the finest ingredients and a lot of love. I'm Ernie Ritchie. After 80 years, the recipe never changed. Visit our store and celebrate our 80th anniversary. Ritchie's Italian Sausage. It's what Pittsburgh eats since 1945.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Babbel proudly presents The Poison Gift.
Derek, hi.
Hi, I got you something. Ein bisschen Gift.
Gift? Ist das Gift?
Ja, ist das Gift. Für dich.
If you buy her a gift, don't tell her it's poison. Use Babbel. Practice with Babbel's guided conversations based on real situations. Get up to 50% off on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
When you're injured on the job, you need more than just a workers' comp lawyer. When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. For the people. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
We will have some sunshine today with a thunder shower, mainly in the afternoon, high 79. Mainly clear tonight, low 67. Very warm with sun tomorrow, high 87. Moving up to 94 on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, 100. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Rindy, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, I'll be back in Monday. Yep, on the morning show, Big K Morning Show. Colin Dunlap with you Monday morning. Can't wait to start the week off right. 5:40 until 10 a.m. on Monday, right here, KDK.
All right, so here we go. We'll talk about some other stuff. ABC News been leading with it in this hour, and that's more fighting in the Middle East. So the president, once again, making a bold statement. If they continue to violate the ceasefire, they will exist no more. I'm going to tell you what would do really wonders for this country right now is if we kick the proverbial derriere of that regime in Iran. I know a lot of you want it to be over. I get it. I know a lot of you, like me, worry about the citizenship of Iran. I get it. But you've got to remove everything from your thought process other than one thing. This government in Iran, they're criminals. All they do every single day, and as they have since the Ayatollah Khomeini 50 years ago when that whole thing started to surface, when the Shah was exiled, we brought him to this country, which was a mistake because he was no better. And obviously Jimmy Carter was just too nice of a guy. Ronald Reagan kind of got in there, ruffled their feathers. Then we had the Iran-Contra scandal in which they threw Oliver North under the bus. Enough. What you have to be thinking is this. The president has to follow through. You know, it's like the old thing that they used to say, to be known as a tough guy, at least one time in your life, you've had to have punched somebody in the mouth. This is your chance to actually live up to being a tough guy. These people are no good. We need to step on them, cut the head of the snake off, because if you do not, This will continue to happen in the lifetime of my children in their 20s. It'll be going on for generations. And someday, I'm sure, not in my lifetime, but in many of your lifetime, if you're young and you're listening, the price of gasoline is now $10 a gallon. No, it's not, but it will be, because they'll continue to hold the purse strings. We'll have politicians in this country fighting, going back and forth. No, we can't drill. We have to worry about the environment. Look, that's not the way to go. Technology's the future. And guess what? The green energy that they all want, wind and solar, will not produce green, what really matters, as in money, to give us a chance to actually become energy independent. So it'll be a vicious cycle, and sadly, more Iranian people, innocent civilians, will get caught up in this mess, and they will lose their lives. And here's another reason why the president needs to finish this regime, to prove to me and to the rest of the world that we actually have the most powerful military on the planet. And if you tell me that you're not scratching your head and wondering the same question, you haven't been listening to me, you haven't been reading the headlines, and you haven't been listening to the news. We have heard so many times since this thing started, epic fury. It's more like epic BS, because all we keep hearing is, well, it's almost here. We've got a truce. We've got a ceasefire. Peace is at hand. No, it never happens. They just continue to punch back because, you see, they don't want us to see how much uranium they have. They don't want to stop making nuclear weapons. They don't want to stop giving money to Hamas and Hezbollah. They don't. They do not want to relinquish their power over the citizenship of Iran. They don't. So they're going to keep dancing away from these issues, and they will continue to just simply punch us in the mouth with these drones and other weapons just to keep us off balance. And then sooner or later, NATO and others will step in and say, now just go home, everybody. Let's get back to business as usual. What Joe Biden did, what Barack Obama did, what everybody has been doing, including Reagan when he tried to do the military arms deal. Jimmy Carter tried to be the peaceful peanut farmer that he was in the cardigan sweater. It didn't work. None of it works. The only thing that works with a bully like this regime is a swift kick in the pants. We've got to finish them. I can't believe that a lot of you don't agree with me on this. I don't even care about the price at the pump anymore. I don't care about the price of groceries. Clip coupons. Make out a list, okay? And maybe don't travel as much in your car. Do whatever you need to do. Take a PRT, okay? Do something, but stick up for your country. You know, we're getting ready to celebrate our 250th birthday, and this is shameful. This is so shameful when you think about how many people and what they have sacrificed in America and laid down their life for, and we're letting some third world country, some bunch of carpetbaggers, push us around. And what amazes me, they're like cockroaches. We've killed 50 of them, and they keep saying our next leader, and then this person gets sick, and this one dies, and then our next leader. Who's in charge? I mean, honestly, I would like to have the citizenship barge into their government embassy or whatever they have over there and say, who is in charge? I mean, it kind of reminds me of when King Tut was in Egypt. And he was this mythical character, larger in life. And the older I got, I wanted to learn more about this guy who built pyramids and did all these amazing things. He was a teenager. And because of hierarchy and belief, they thought he was the go-to guy. It was a joke. I believe that there's some sort of person who's basically just been handed this on a silver platter because everybody else is gone and they have no clue. And they're probably good at video games and they're launching drones and killing people. Wipe them off the planet. Listen, get the Iranian people as close as you can to safety. Whatever you have to do. Mass exodus. Say, we're going to bomb this place at this time. We're going to bomb this place at that time. We'll give everybody a plenty of time. If you have to take out their nuclear power, if you have to hurt other infrastructure to make them come to a halt and flush them out, you have to. It's like that pesky rodent that you have in your house or backyard. You got to do everything to exterminate, eradicate, and look at the big picture because you want to save all of the other living creatures, the vegetation, the beauty. These people are not beautifying Iran. They've never put any money back into their infrastructure. They're not paying it forward. They're just taking and taking and taking. And, you know, this thing in Lebanon, everybody keeps blaming Israel. Have you ever thought the reason Lebanon keeps causing problems and why Israel is having issues is because that regime is filtering that money that they've got stockpiles of, and they want to keep everybody off balance. And now they even have the president and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at odds with each other. And you have Russia in the mix, you have China in the mix, and they keep doing their dastardly deeds. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they were not still making nuclear weapons. So if we are the most powerful free nation in the world, and we have the strongest Navy, the strongest Army, the strongest military, whether it be the Marines, the Air Force, show me. Show me the power. Show America as we get ready for our 250th birthday, like George Washington did in 1776 with the Minutemen, basically farmers who bared arms and fought off the most powerful nation in the world at the time, who had the biggest and most powerful navy, a flotilla that blanketed the Atlantic Ocean. Literally just a few hundred yards off the sea, off that coast, and bombarded the colonies and brought more and more waves of troops and more troops as far as the eye could see. But they stayed the course. They got through the winter at Valley Forge with no shoes, no foods, crossed the Potomac, did what they had to. You mean to tell me with all the technology and everything that we have at our fingertips today that we can't take out this regime? Because now, from what I understand, they have no military, no Navy, no Air Force. These aren't the words of me. They're the words of the president. So show me the surge. Mr. President, they're not going to stop. They're going to keep dangling the carrot in front of your nose and our nose until finally there's intervention from all these other world powers who simply want to do a group hug, kumbaya, around the campfire, eating s'mores, and says, oh, let's stop the violence. We'll stop fighting here. We'll stop fighting there. We'll all do business together. So what'll happen? The toughest president we've had in a long time will be gone. It'll be the next chapter, and they'll be starting over again in their administration about how they're going to solve this and solve that, and they want to be more bipartisan, more moderate politicians, and let's just do a kumbaya thing and make it work. And guess what? Once again, we'll be writing blank checks for money we don't have to China to produce things that we used to produce in this country. We'll never take advantage of the natural gas that we have buckets of it, literally, every nook and cranny throughout western Pennsylvania. We'll stop talking about energy independence. We won't be worrying about growing our nation, and that debt will go from $38 trillion to $48 trillion, $58 trillion. Hey, who's counting? We live in a country right now where people are drowning in debt, not just financial, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And as we get ready for the biggest celebration we've had since 1976, this is the 250th birthday of this great country. We achieved all of these things: Revolutionary War, World War I, World War II, the Civil War. We blazed a path from sea to shining sea, all of the modern marvels, the technology and everything. And we're going to let this little government, if that's what it is, of these people, these criminals, dictate to us? Shouldn't be the case. Look, nobody's preaching violence here, but I'm telling you right now, somebody needs punched in the face. America has to show the rest of the world we're tough. We're the biggest dog on the block with the biggest bark, and we can bite. You come after us, you start beating on us, we're coming after you. How many more times am I going to have to be on the air with you talking about peace at hand, and then more fighting breaks out? I'm shocked that more people in the media like me, who have a bigger name than me, aren't saying, what is going on here? This is like a revolving door that you're stuck in and you can't get out. It's crazy. 866-391-1020, getting ready to wrap up our first hour. Tech Vibe Radio coming up at the top of the hour. And then, of course, bottom of the hour, Father Tom Burke will be here, Catholic Education Plus. Aaron Hart from Farm to Table from Ireland, in for Doug today. And then 8 o'clock, your best burger recipe. Get ready for the holidays on the Coons Cooking Hour. 5:45, sports coming up. Good morning, your Pratt Pack.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you. A Pittsburgh tradition. Pirates lost to the Reds yesterday, 9-7. 2 teams again today. PNC Park, 135. Hear it on 93.7 The Fan. The Pen selected Marcus Ruck with the 39th overall pick in the second round yesterday, pairing the prolific scoring forward with his twin brother Liam. The Penguins drafted Liam, a right winger, with their first-round pick at number 22 on Friday. Marcus is listed at 6 feet, 164 pounds. He has played primarily center and dished out 87 assists for Medicine Hat in 25-26. Final group stage spots were cemented at the World Cup yesterday. England captured Group L with a 2-0 win over Panama via goals from Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane, while Croatia locked in second place, beating Ghana 2-1. Thrilling late-night action headlined by Argentina over Jordan 3-1, and Austria and Algiers battled to a 3-3 draw, and Colombia and Portugal battled to a 0-0 draw. Victor Hovland 20 under, a one-shot lead at the Travelers Championship, heading into today's final round over world number 1 Scotty Scheffler. More sports, 93.7thefan.com.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
My name is Ariel. When I arrived in the U.S. at 19, I struggled to find job opportunities without my high school diploma. My entire life changed when I took a chance and got my high school diploma at age 22. Everything I have, my education, my career, my marriage, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and my teachers. They were with me every step of the way, helping with my English and math, making sure I pushed through all the challenges.
Ariel, your success proves that what I'm doing as a teacher has real meaning.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
Education was the key that unlocked all my opportunities.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
As parents, we have a million things running through our minds. Playdates, checkups, groceries, laundry, diapers, work, carpool schedules, picture day, swim team, did we mention diapers, birthday parties, meal prep, lost permission slips, dentist appointments, and the dog that still needs to be walked. So it's easy to make a mistake. Oh, I forgot birthday candles. Sit tight, hon, I'll be right back. We say we'd never put our kids in danger by leaving them in the car alone. Oh, wait, since when are candles not on the baking aisle? But never happens. And temperatures as low as 60 degrees can be deadly for children left behind. So always bring them with you, and every time you park the car, stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Ms. Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
Hi, I'm Peter Sagal. When we were growing up, my two brothers and I just loved our Uncle Ted. He was like a really cool big brother who always brought around the best toys and took us to the best places and with whom we always had the most fun. It was odd, though, when we got older, to realize he wasn't nearly as outgoing and adventurous with other adults. I found out much later that this might have had something to do with the ostomy bag he wore ever since he was diagnosed with Crohn's disease as a teenager and had part of his lower intestine removed. Theodor Skolnick, my Uncle Ted, died last year at the age of 80, never having once mentioned his illness to me or my brothers. He left a large bequest to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation to help fund better treatments for these diseases and also to help other people, old and young, seek and get help for the situation that he was never able to talk about. Don't feel you need to hide your Crohn's or colitis. Go to spillyourguts.org to learn more about the treatments available and even find a specialist. That's spillyourguts.org.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, so I want to talk about this bridge closure, Parkway East, going to be happening July 10th through early August. Let's not focus on the negative. And I was thinking about this coming into work today. Let's focus on the positive. The modern marvel of actually being able to slide this new bridge into position. You know, I've been coming to this city for decades, and I have gone through just about every type of traffic closure, construction project that one could imagine. And I have such respect for the pile drivers, the heavy equipment operators, the building trades, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, people like PennDOT, Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters. And this may be one of the most interesting things I have ever witnessed. Now, many years ago, when I was doing the overnight show, we actually were on 24 hours a day. I had a gentleman who was a carpenter, as in Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters, and he would call before he would start his shift, a little, before midnight, and then he would say, this is what we're going to be doing, and then he would kind of call during his lunch break, and then he would call on his way home in the morning sometimes, and a new dam was being placed on one of the rivers, and they built it at another location, and then they floated it down the river. So this was a summer many, many years ago, and it started in the spring, and it worked its way through, building of that dam to when that flotilla took place to the end result. And it was like months. And he kind of took us through the timeline. And because of the theater of the mind that radio is, people were just enthralled by it. They couldn't believe that they could actually build this dam at another location, float it down the river, and then put it in place. So ever since that, I've been in love with the building trade. Still the most important part of everything that we do in this region, hammer to nail, creating, generating, and I absolutely love the carpenters. And I've said many times, you have somebody in your household graduating from high school or maybe has got a degree and they can't find a job for what they went to school for and paid thousands of dollars for, and they just love building things, fixing things, and they got a bit of a analytical mind. You need to not walk, but run to the Carpenters Association just down the road from where we are in Green Tree and apply within. They pay you to learn, and once you start, you're out making a great living with good health benefits, and you do things that will last forever. And I can promise you this right now. The men and women who are involved in some of these projects this summer, for the rest of their life, they will come back and drive through certain places that they won't be in for years since of this time now doing a particular job, and they will go, boy, I remember at a stop sign or going through a tunnel, traffic backup. I remember being here way back when, and we did this, telling their kids, their grandkids. And I must tell you, this idea of what they're doing, and I've been watching this thing from the very beginning, how they literally built this bridge, and they're going to slide it into place. And here's the other thing. That bridge will be strong for generations to come. We need to be doing more of this stuff moving forward so future generations can reap the benefits of this stuff, okay? But this whole process, how long it remained open and remains open, but how basically signed, sealed, and delivered, new bridge in place, demolition of the old, we're talking like a month? To me, that is absolutely incredible. And with all of the different routes and routes and GPS systems and the detour signs that I already see up and the electronic billboards explaining what's happening, it's a whole lot better than it was when I first started here in the 80s. Plus, you have these great traffic reports here, Big K morning show throughout the day, ending up on my show. So that morning commute, that afternoon commute. And it would also be a great time. Let me give a shameless but much needed plug to PRT. And we saw that with the draft, how there was no traffic, no problem. So for any of you that travel that route on a regular basis and you can figure it out, you've got a few days, to say the least, to be able to plan out and maybe get a PRT pass and let them do the driving. You know what? You may actually like it. Look, I never could do it. And I must tell you, there were many times when I was working morning, noon, and night here and in West Virginia and Ohio where I would be stuck in traffic at the top of Green Tree Hill trying to get through the tunnels. And I'd see those PRT, then Port Authority buses. And I used to say to myself, man, wouldn't it be nice just to be able to take a little bit of a nap on the way to work or on my way home after work? Because if you get PRT to drive you, you don't got to deal with the parking. You don't got to deal with any of that stuff. You get to meet some nice people who are traveling that same road, kind of like a giant carpool. And in the end, with the price of gasoline, you're going to save some money too. And the more people that we can get off the highways for that month's period, it won't be as tough. There are going to be those of you that are going to need that for groceries, doctor's appointments, shopping, other things you have to do, routine maintenance on your vehicle. I get all of that. But map out a plan, get a game plan, put a strategy together, and stick to it. And know this, it's 4 Monday wake-ups. That's it. 4 Monday wake-ups, and it'll be over. And I still can't believe, it's just, these people are amazing. You know, and I've been listening and watching all of the, the updates as far as the nightly news, KDKA Radio, what they've been doing, and the confidence of these people who do this. And to think at one time they were just young high school students thinking, this is something that interests me. I like to draw. I like to build things. I like construction. I like steel and concrete. And now this is what they're doing. It's amazing. And these cranes and all the things that go into it. And the demolition is the most amazing thing. How you can have these massive structures, like I was there the very last day that it existed when Three River Stadium was imploded. We were actually doing my show, this Sunday morning show, live, and to watch that massive building because of some very strategic people who know obviously what they're doing. The old saying, here today, gone tomorrow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So let's focus on the positive and understand that this is going to benefit all of us for years to come. And it's going to be really special when it's done. And congratulations to everybody who has just gotten it to this point. But think about PRT. It might just be something you're going to want to stick with. All right, Rob Taylor's here. He's got that news at 6 a.m. We'll take an hour off, do a little work with Frank Dentisi. We got a giant 2-day sale coming to Coons Market, so we're going to do some recording there. And then we'll get back with Erin Hart, Farm to Table, in for the vacationing Doug Oster. She's live from Ireland. And then Frank and I are going to be talking about recipes for your favorite burger as we get ready for that 4th of July holiday. It's your Pratt Pack. Good morning.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Are you smarter than an anchor man? And we have Joe from Penn Hills as a lifeline for me. Joe, what do you like? A, B, C?
Oh, I like the Super Mario. Is that A?
I'm going with you, Joe. You're my lifeline.
The answer was B, Incredibles 2.
Come on, Joe.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I'm with Joe Potocnik from JP Roofing and Siding, a platinum preferred contractor from Owens Corning. Joe, what does that mean?
It's an elite status. We earn that by using Owens Corning products to qualify for the platinum preferred warranty. That's a 50-year warranty on the materials and 25-year on the labor, 100%.
That's the upper 1% in America after 45 years, Joe. Congratulations.
Thank you, Larry.
Call JP Roofing and Siding, 412-829-7711.
The certified elder law attorneys at Julian Gray Associates understand the rules of long-term care and disability. They help families avoid mistakes and protect assets to maintain the best lifestyle options. You don't have to do this alone. Visit grayelderlaw.com.
The Colorectal Cancer Alliance wants you to know a lot of things in life are preventable. Ooh, gas station sushi. That's preventable. And even colon cancer can be preventable if you get screened. If you're 45 or older, talk to your doctor. Go to colorectalcancer.org to learn more.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's a Pittsburgh International at 6 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. 2 teens are in a hospital this morning recovering after each teen was shot multiple times in Rankin. Allegheny County Police say the shooting happened just before 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon in the 300 block of 4th Avenue. Police say as many as 4 individuals wearing masks approached the 2 teens on foot and opened fire. Police say the suspects ran away towards 3rd Avenue. No word on the conditions of the teens who were shot. Police are searching for a stolen black Kia vehicle that could be associated with the
Sports
shooting.
brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8.
Well, the identities of the 2 people killed in a single vehicle crash along the Pennsylvania Turnpike Saturday morning have been released. Hunter Fronius and Raymond Foster, both of Connellsville, were in a red vehicle around 2:30 Saturday morning on I-76 when the vehicle struck the overpass and flipped multiple times before coming to a stop. Fronius and Foster were trapped inside and were pronounced dead at the scene. Well, as temperatures are expected to reach the mid-90s this upcoming week, Allegheny County officials are issuing a code red heat advisory for Monday through Wednesday. County Department of Human Services and other agencies will check on older adults during this time with phone calls and by delivering meals. Outreach teams will also connect with people experiencing unsheltered homelessness and provide water and cooling supplies. And the city of Pittsburgh's 5 healthy active living centers will also serve as cooling centers Monday through Wednesday as well. Bike Pittsburgh hosting the first of 2 Open Streets Pittsburgh events this morning. That means street closures will take place starting at 8 this morning at Market Square, Forbes Avenue near downtown, Armstrong Tunnel, 10th Street Bridge, and East Carson Street between 10th and 21st Streets. Roads should be back open by 3 this afternoon. Open Streets Pittsburgh gives people the opportunity to bike, walk, skate, or roll through Pittsburgh neighborhoods